today we are going to be rebranding our lives together.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not
Hi
understand.
my loves, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it's your girl Dami Lauye. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Alright guys, today we are going to be talking about rebranding your life. Your life. This is 2024 babies, okay? This is 2024 and we don't want to continue with those same habits we did in 2023. We don't want to bring those same habits to 2024. So guys, today I am going to be telling you some things you can do to rebrand your life. We don't want to be stuck. We don't want to be in the same situation we were last year. We don't want to not achieve anything. We don't want to keep giving ourselves different excuses when we can get up and do whatever thing we want to do. Okay, so the first one is inner self-work or inner self-reflection. So guys, I'm going to be talking about me personally before I tell you the steps or the things to do. So for me personally, I was always in the habit. I was always giving different excuses. I was just like, oh, okay, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. And I was stuck. So I had to tell myself that, okay, we cannot continue this way. We cannot keep on doing this thing because we're not going to achieve any results. So I really had to sit down. This was when I did the inner work self-reflection. I had to sit down and I had to tell myself, we cannot continue the same thing because we've been doing this thing for the past several years now and we are not getting any results. So it was that day I realized I needed to rebrand my whole life and reinvent myself to become another person entirely. So guys, if you are stuck, if you are feel like you haven't achieved anything, if you don't like the way you look, if you don't like the way you think, if you don't like the way you act, this is the right place for you, okay? Because I promise you, baby, you're not going to live the same way you came to watch this video. The same way you watch this video, you're not going to live the same way. You're going to learn something. So I had to realize that so many people were taking advantage of me because I didn't know my worth, I didn't rebrand myself, and I was just there, and other people knew my worth and they were just taking advantage of me because I didn't realize my worth then. I didn't know how much worth I had. I didn't know everything. So I really had to sit down and tell myself, we need to reinvent. And it didn't just start this way. You know, when people are coming to you and they're like, oh, okay, you are this, you are that, and it's like more than one people telling you, then you have to know that, okay, there is something wrong somewhere. So if you are feeling that same way, or if you feel something similar, I promise you, you are not alone and we can achieve this rebrand or reinvention together. Self-reflection is very, very, very important. It is very, very important because it allows us to discover who we truly are. It allows us to know our strengths. It allows us to know our weakness. It allows us to just discover so many things about us. Your passion, your talent, what you're good at, what you don't like. Self-reflection is going to make you discover all of those things. So if you're not able to do a lot of reflection, a lot of self-discovery, you are not going to know yourself well. So that is why I feel everybody, whether you're a girl, whether you're a lady, whether you're a man, whether you're a boy, you need to do self-reflection. You need to discover your inner self. You need to know what you want. You need to know your weaknesses. You need to know everything about yourself. You don't want people telling you this, you don't want people telling you that, because if you don't know yourself, you're just going to believe whatever thing people are telling you about yourself. That is because you don't know yourself. So yes, we need to be able to discover ourselves. We need to be able to reflect and just get to know ourselves better. Why should I do it? Because someone said I should do it. Why should I eat something that I don't like to eat? Why should I do something I don't want to do? If you're not the club type, if you're not the party type, for example, and the friend's like, oh, okay, just go. You're gonna have fun because she wants you to go, but you know deep down that you're not that type of person. You're going to let her know, okay, girl, I don't like going to the club, I'm not the party type. But obviously, if you don't discover yourself, if you don't do self-reflection, you are not going to be able to know what you really want. So you are able to reflect and know what you really want yourself. So I feel everybody really needs to do this self-reflection. So this is like the number one step in reinventing yourself. You need to discover yourself. You need to know what you want, what you don't want, what you like, your hobbies, your weaknesses, your strengths. Because if you don't know your weakness, people are just going to take different advantages of you. And I have a story to share about the weakness. So I'm this type of person. I'm a very forgiving person. If anybody offends me, I'm very, very quick to forgive them. And that was one of my weakness. So I realized I was always forgiving like different people, and they just kept on taking advantage of me, because obviously they know that, oh, okay, if Dami does this, she's going to just forgive, she's just going to let it slide, she's not going to do anything about it. And honestly, then I didn't even know that was part of my weakness. I didn't realize that was a weakness I had. So I was able to self-reflect, and I realized that, okay, why do people keep doing me this way, or people keep repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again? Because they know that I'm always going to forgive them, and I'm just going to let it slide. And because it happened the first time, I forgave. Second time, I forgave. Third time, I forgave. So everybody now felt like, oh, okay, they could come here and just take advantage of me, because I'm just going to let it slide. But honestly, now that I've been able to like really do a lot of reflection on myself, it's not like I'm not going to forgive. I'm still going to forgive you, but I'm going to put on boundaries. I'm going to put boundaries. Yes, I forgive you, but you are going to stay in your own lane, and I'm going to stay in my own lane. Before, I was always like, okay, I forgive you, and we can still come back together, we can still have fun, we can still do all of that. But right now, no. The first chance, I might give you the first chance, you do the thing the first time, okay, that's fine. But the second time, or if I notice you keep on doing it, and then I'm going to be able to create boundaries, because I already know that, okay, this is one of my weakness. I'm a very forgiving person, and because they realize that I'm a very forgiving person, they're just going to keep on taking advantages of me if I don't keep boundaries. So I was able to put in boundaries there, and honestly, it has been very, very good. And I know so many of us have like so many weaknesses. Some of you is anger. You get angry very, very easily. Some of you is jealousy. Some of you, like, you just need to be able to do a lot of self-reflection and know what your weakness is, and look for how you can control the weakness. A lot of you have a very, 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 very negative mindset, and it's not going to help in doing this reinvention. Let me tell you guys something, okay? Delulu is the Solulu. I don't know if you heard that word before, but Delulu is the Solulu. You have to be a little bit delusional. You have to believe that you are in the place you want to be right now. You have to have an alter ego that you look up to, and anytime you feel something is wrong somewhere, you come into that person and just embody as that person. So even when you know that, oh, okay, you don't feel beautiful right now, you don't feel smart, you're going to convince yourself and tell you are beautiful, you are smart, you are pretty, you are hardworking, you are blessed. You have to be able to always remain that positive mindset, because it's that positive mindset that is going to help you. The next thing we need to do after we've been able to have a positive mindset is to create these goals. What do you want? How do you want to reinvent yourself? Do you want to look more clean? Do you want to look more classy? Do you want to be able to just look presentable? I don't know how you want to reinvent yourself, but you need to be able to create a specific goal that you know you can achieve. So we have to create these goals. Okay, let me use myself for example. I wanted to rebrand myself because I just didn't like the way everything was in general. So I was trying to give it to more of this feminine, clean, classy type of look. So I had to like sit down. I had to check Pinterest. I had to like write down these things. I had to watch videos, and I was able to create these goals. I had to like tell myself, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. I wrote every single thing down. And I told myself, okay girl, we need to do this. Now there's a difference between just creating a goal and just lying down in bed and not doing anything. You need to put in the work too. So first thing first, we have to create these goals, and we have to track them quarterly. And by quarterly, I mean we are going to be tracking these goals every 3 months and try to see our progress. okay, I wrote this goal this month, we're going to work towards it, and we're going to check how far we've been able to achieve, or what we've been able to achieve from these certain goals. So whatever thing you want to achieve, whether it's looking good, whether it's becoming more smart, whether it's knowing how to look presentable. If you want to know how to look presentable, you need to know how to do your hair, you need to know how to do your makeup, you just need to touch up yourself a little bit in general. And by doing that, you can watch some videos on YouTube, you can watch some videos on TikTok, or you can enroll in classes. It's also going to help you to be able to achieve that. And remember, you have to track these goals. You need to track these goals. So we're going to track the goals consistently, at least every 3 months. You can do it whatever time you want, but make sure that you are able to track these goals and check and see your progress. So first and first, I had to change my closet. Next thing, I had to go to the gym, so I started going to the gym. Other thing first, I needed to stay healthy, so I was looking for like healthy food to eat, and also made sure I was eating consistently. And another thing I had to do was I didn't take my vitamins as a joke. I was always taking vitamins. I didn't like the way my skin was looking at that particular time, so I had to see a dermatologist. These are the certain things you need to know. You need to write down that, okay, this is what I don't like about myself, this is what I want to change, this is what I need to change. So after you're able to discover that, then you find a solution and work towards that goal. And make sure you need to be very, very disciplined. So this is going to lead us to being very disciplined. You cannot write these goals and just say you want to sit down in bed and expect everything to happen. It's not going to happen. You need to put in the work. So yes, I know it can be very, very hard to put in the work, and now you are going to start gradually. So if you want to rebrand yourself, okay, you want to become more smarter, you need to try to read books at least. You can start with reading a book once a month. You don't need to be too hard on yourself, because I feel once you start being too hard on yourself, you're going to feel so overwhelmed, because you feel like, oh, okay, this is actually a whole lot, and it's more stressful than I thought. So you're going to start with reading at least one book a month. And reading one book a month, you can read like at least a chapter in like a week, or depending on how big the book is or how many pages the book is. So it just depends on you. So I want also take these goals one step at a time. You don't have to rush everything together and just bombard yourself. You don't have to do that. We are going to be taking these goals one step at a time. And once you see that, okay, you've been able to achieve this, then you move on to the next thing, like that. I noticed that I just had a whole lot going on in my head. I had a whole lot stored up in my head, but since I cultivated the habit of journaling, my head has just been free. I've had so many space in my head. I'm like, okay, that was because I started journaling. So because you are able to journal, you are able to release these emotions out. You're able to just get it down in a book, and you just feel more lighter, you just feel relaxed, you just feel chilled, because you were able to let those emotions down in a book. So journaling is very, very important. And also, why it's also important is because you are able to go back and just see your progress and see. And funny thing is that when I see my journal, I always laugh to myself like, oh my god, girl, what's wrong with you? Because when you look back, you feel so cringe, but it's actually a very, very good thing, because that was how you were feeling in that moment. So when you look back, you're like, oh my god, what was I thinking? Oh my god, why did I do this? And then it's going to be very, very proud of yourself because of how far you've grown. So for self-care, remember, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your body. You need to journal your physical health, the things you consume. And by consuming, I mean the things you hear, the things you watch, the things you see online, because social media now, a whole lot of things is going on right now. And those things we consume can affect us either negatively or positively. So you have to be careful of the things you also consume. Also, you need to reward yourself and pamper yourself. So now, rewarding myself, I'm going to use rewarding myself as an example for me being very disciplined. So what I do, I have a whole list of the things I want, and I have a list of the things I need. So anytime I do a certain thing, I'm able to reward myself that, okay, girl, you did this, so you deserve this. And because I have a list and I keep to it, I'm always very, very disciplined. I'm always able to keep on going, because I make sure I keep to the words I say to myself. I keep to giving myself these things that I want. So always remember, it's okay to just relax. It's okay to pamper yourself. Book that spa, book the massage, go get your nails done, go get your hair done, look good, feel good. And also remember to reward yourself. It's not going to hurt your bank account if you decide to buy a nice coffee for yourself. It's not going to hurt you if you decide to buy a bag for yourself. As long as you feel good, if it's worth it, okay, if it's worth it. Because I know some of you might start spending unnecessary money, because I said you need to reward yourself every time. But by rewarding yourself, I don't mean you have to like spend a whole lot of money. Reward yourself by resting, taking the day off. Just take a break. Reward yourself by buying ice cream for yourself. Reward yourself by buying milkshake for yourself. Always try to reward yourself every time you can, because it's just going to help you, and it's also a part of self-love. This is going to be very, very challenging. It is going to be very, very challenging. I just want you to know that. But I need you to always remind yourself why you started, why you want to do this, why you want to rebrand yourself and reinvent yourself. Because if you're able to tell yourself that, okay, this is why I want to reinvent myself, it's a little bit easier to keep going. Because there are so many distractions, there are so many challenges. Not everybody is consistent with going to the gym. Not everybody wants to wake up and do that skincare routine. No, not everybody wants to wake up and take that walk. Especially when you feel comfortable in bed already. I want to hear the alarm go off, you're like, oh my god, why do I have to get up? And you just start giving different excuses for yourself. So I'm just here to remind you that it's going to be very, very challenging. But you just need to be able to remind yourself why you started in the first place. You need to remind yourself that, okay, I am doing this because of, not because of the way I'm feeling right now, but because of who I want to be later on in a few months. You need to remind yourself those things, and it just gets a little bit better. Another thing we need during this reinvention journey is we need a community. We need people that care about us. We need mentors. So you need to have someone that you can trust fully, that is able to put you in check. And now I'm talking about someone that can put you in check in the sense that you need a friend, or you need an aunt, you need a mentor. You just need people that you look up to, and sometimes you can just let them know that, oh, okay, this is what I plan on doing right now, and they can help you. They can put you in check anytime they see you that, oh my god, girl, you haven't gone to the gym today in few days. What's wrong? Are you okay? Another thing that's going to help us in this journey is you need to start reading books. You need to start listening to podcasts. I listen to Tam Carr. A podcast, it just makes me feel so good. She's able to put me back in check, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, this is why I started. So you need to have someone that you are listening to that's just like a podcast. She has been talking about self-obsessed lately, and honestly, I'm in love with that podcast. I listen to her almost all the time. Anytime I'm doing chores, anytime I'm doing something, I listen to her. And most of her podcasts are mostly like 30 minutes to 1 hour. So like, it's just like, and she drops it like at least once a week. So I listen to her all the time. Now, when we say we want to rebrand our life, now I'm going to be talking about someone like Sophia Richie. How many of you know Sophia Richie? Did you guys see the way she was dressing before? Did you see the way she was dressing before? And now she actually had to like rebrand herself and reinvent herself, and made her look more classy and clean and put together. That is what we want for ourselves. We want to look clean, we want to look put together, we want to look classy in all ways. I'm not just talking about physical, I'm also talking about mentally, I'm talking about spiritually too. We have to put all of that in check. So look at Sophia Richie. She was looking like this before, and she automatically rebranded and reinvented herself to a whole person entirely. We started looking so classy and sophisticated. That is what we want for ourselves. We want to look good. We want to look classy. We want to look put together. We want to be smart. We want to be closer to God, because we need God in whatever thing we need. If you're a Muslim, that's fine too, but I'm a Christian. I need God in whatever thing I am doing. Another thing we need to do for reinventing our life, we need to have hobbies, babes. You need to have hobbies. You need to have something you enjoy doing. And when I say enjoy doing, you need to have something you genuinely enjoy doing. Don't do it because other people were doing it. Me, for example, I love to do makeup. It is something I really, really enjoy doing. I love to read books. It is something I really, really enjoy doing. So you need to look for something you really, really enjoy doing, and you're going to discover this during your self-reflection. So once you're able to self-reflect, you're going to know what you enjoy doing, and you just keep on doing it. So having something to do is just a very good thing, because that way you're not able to while away your time on social media or just scrolling and doing all of that. So in your free time, you're able to like pick up that book, you're able to do makeup, you're able to do whatever thing you want to do. Another thing we are going to be talking about in this self-reflection journey, you need to learn how to do certain things for yourself. I know doing your hair, doing your makeup, doing your lashes, doing your nails, it can be quite expensive sometimes. It's a lot of money trying to do all of that together. Because in rebranding yourself, you also need to look put together. What's the point of rebranding yourself if you're going to look unkept? We don't want that. That is not rebranding yourself. So we need to look put together. We need to look okay. We just need to look put together. So you need to be able to at least do your hair. If you don't have money for nails, you can get those press-on nails. It's going to work for you. If you're not able to do those individual lashes, you can get the cluster lashes. I'm not saying you need to do lashes all the time. I just feel like you need to look put together. Whether it's your hair you're going to do, if you notice that, okay. Because me, for example, anytime my hair is not good, my mood automatically becomes very bad. I don't know if it happens to everybody, but it happens to me. And I've been able to discover that. I noticed that, okay, anytime my hair is not done, my mood is always somehow. And that's because everything just is my body. So like it automatically belongs to me. So anytime my hair or something part of me is not done, my mood, it affects my mood entirely. I don't know if it happens to you, but it happens to me. So that way I'm always able to at least style my hair, and even if my hair is not done, I'm just going to like use a scarf to just cover it or something so that it doesn't affect my mood.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understand.